Okay, greetings everyone. This is First Centurion 753 with the next episode of Geopolitical Simulator 4, Power and Revolution, All Roads Lead to Delhi. And we are continuing to work to get all roads to Delhi. They're getting there. Infrastructure is being developed. We had the little Calcutta circle here. I've extended rail lines all the way south. They all connect there. Might be time to start extending across the continent. One big issue, though, in the last couple episodes has been this number right here. This horrible number. And this number, too. Sheesh. We were doing so well economically. And I think it's because of the trade deals. A lot of talk about this on the channel in the comments. Coal was the big one that we lost. Something about $500 billion, half $1 trillion worth of coal deals probably lost or expired. And going into the economy, I was not really able to bring those deals back. Not a lot of coal being sold, not anywhere near as much coal being sold to the United States. That's only 35 million. I guess it was France who we had to deal with, so maybe I should check France just in case. I mean, I didn't go for them right away because the come on, game. Mother of God, this game never fails to annoy. There we go, maybe we can do it that way. Ah, gotcha. So, what was I saying? Yeah, France. France was the one that I think we had the coal deal with. They were buying $500 billion worth of coal. And this is purchases. Sales. Can we repeat? No, look at this. What is with these numbers? Are they not consuming as much coal? I guess maybe coal is not being consumed as much. Maybe there's been a clean energy push throughout the world, which is not good for us because we have a lot of coal. The biggest industry I have, as far as jobs go, I thought was in the service sector. So, no, this is not the right one. Right here, employment. Yeah, I think the biggest number I've got here is services. Services, which bring in $1.2 billion in corporate taxes, have about 66 million people employed, and numerical networks and infrastructure. I thought I exempted this from taxes. They have 26. I thought I exempted this. $26 million. Compared to industrial sectors, I think they just kind of blow them out of the water. I don't think industrial sectors see anywhere near as much. About 20% almost active in the population. And the industrial sector, there isn't one single industrial sector. Oh, electrical materials does, and they're exempt from taxes already, so there's not much I can do there. Software industry is at 12 million. You know what? Maybe I can exempt the software industry from taxes. I should definitely exempt components. It doesn't matter as much when you get down to these numbers, though. But electrical components are in a lot of things. So software industry and electrical components, sure. Let me go ahead and exonerate those two. I thought I already had electrical components exonerated, because electrical components is that one. Electrical components and steel are the two sectors that are in the most as far as like sector feed-ins. And this is everything that feeds into that. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. And then electrical components are in like everything that's advanced and electronic. Ha! Right? Software industry, probably it's in there. Great Public Holograph, Great Public Bionics, electrical components, computer hardware, and exonerate there. So hopefully that'll stimulate it a little bit. But in reality, you know what? I don't want to be too dependent on trade deals now that I think about it. I don't want most of my GDP to be dependent on trade. I'd rather have much more domestic consumption. Let me just check real quick about what other sales are ending soon. Fish contract. That's nothing. It's Afghanistan. I think we just did that as like a bonus. So all these other ones are new. Australia. That's a purchase contract. Purchase. These contracts aren't really that good, right? The purchase contracts seem to be more favorable because they get the supplies that we need. But as far as my profits are concerned, I think I'd much rather have a domestic consumption economy because that's much more healthy. And with a domestic consumption economy, you're not as dependent on trade. So we can still, export. And we will still export trade balance and everything, because that's not just dependent on trade deals, right? I guess we're buying. See, we're buying more aeronautical construction. A lot less than we were buying in the past, though. But I have not made any aeronautical construction deals. So the trade deals aren't. There will be trade beyond the trade deals. And setting up free trade zones, I think, helps to promote that. And I'm trying to get that free trade zone being promoted in Central Asia there. But maybe I should try to focus elsewhere too on free trade zones. Anyways, domestic economy would be much more favorable. And if you look at GDP per capita, it is not very high. It's actually down below 5,000 now, as our economy is sinking. So what I would much rather do, actually, is cut taxes. Because we do have a budget excess of $88 billion, and we do have a Treasury Reserve here. This is where the Treasury Reserve is. I didn't notice it before. It's in millions, and so it's 12. That's 12 billion Treasury Reserve. We still have some public debt based on our expenditures. We borrow to build things and stuff like that. But $12 billion in reserve, and I think that's just going to grow, especially since we have interest and accumulated interest. So as that continues to grow, we don't need to bring in as much taxes. And so this is like a sovereign wealth fund, and it would be cool if I could actually take this sovereign wealth fund and invest it in other. Technically, you can, as you build infrastructure projects in other countries, but like China tends to like to build a lot of infrastructure projects in Africa, and sort of uses it to wield its influence. I saw an interesting video, I think in Wendover Productions. Was it Wendover Productions? I can't remember. It was an interesting YouTube video I saw today about how China, the African countries that China is investing in, will vote to not recognize Taiwan as a country separate from China, the Republic of Taiwan, or whatever the resolutions that are in favor of like a one China policy and everything. Those countries tend to get more infrastructure support from the Chinese Import-Export Bank, or whatever it is that loans it all out. And it's kind of like a sovereign wealth fund, I think. But Qatar actually has a really good sovereign wealth fund. They invest in a lot of things around the world. They're heavily invested. I've seen some interesting, I think Caspian Report is another good channel for geopolitics that has some interesting videos on Qatar and its situation. So it's almost like an investment portfolio for a country, which I think is a good idea. I like that idea. I know the United States probably is really far away from ever having that. We have the Federal Reserve, which has a certain amount of gold and treasury bonds and everything. And I think they have like $3 trillion. But our debt is so much more. But it's nowhere near our national wealth, too. That's another number that's not included in this game. And it's an interesting number that geopolitical scientists like to look at. Geopolitical analysts like to look at. If you look at the amount of wealth the United States has, Like if you're worried about China catching up to the United States in GDP, no need to worry about catching up in wealth. Wealth is like net wealth. The United States is enormous. If you look at I forgot the numbers, but it is enormous. And as far as like our debt, like you compare to like debt to GDP ratio, debt to national wealth ratio, not a problem. Anyways, that's all stuff you can look at on your own. I forgot the numbers off the top of my head, but I did go ahead and propose a income tax cut here for India. We've got 60% approval for the vote. These are all the right-wing parties. These are centrist parties. Oh, 90%. That's even more. The League of Pioneering Democrats actually has more support for the income tax cut than ours does. I guess because we are cutting it across the board. It's not just the upper class that are getting it. And this is a conservative party that we're doing here, FYI. For those of you who may forget, it says conservative liberal is the title, but it is a conservative rightist party as far as Indian politics is concerned. And let's just take a look at, I do want to show you the political parties here because we haven't looked at this in a while. Maybe I can Parliament, that's a better view. So yeah, this gives us a better idea. The group of sovereign radicals, which sounds like a left-wing party, is actually an extreme right-wing party. Usually radicals are only associated with left-wing. They've got 21 seats, and they love us. We are the dominant party, 283 seats. 32% of the vote, and there's a conservative liberal party. There's an investment budget there of $8 million. I wonder how much ones have. It doesn't tell you the investment budget. League of Pioneering Democrats are a center-right party. Oh, they are center-right. They do support us. Independent movement is center-independent. So that's a centrist party. 28 seats. Alright, so it does make sense for the League of Pioneering Democrats to support that bill than the tax cut they did before. Not as much support on the left, I don't think. League of Social Democrats, they are control 22 seats. They are center-left. Indian Social Front, 44 seats. They are socialists. Social Labor League, 85 seats. And then there's the Indian Communist League, which I think has turned to terrorist tactics at points. Which is odd. They're communists. So, much more right-wing support. But we don't really have to worry about too much because they pushed the elections back to 2030. But all these parties are legitimate. There was a complaint. One of the protests was complaining that these parties are not free. It's a free multi-party system. We just haven't had an election in a decade. Regulating funding, mixed and limited funding. So that's actually pretty regulatory for what do you call it? For a more conservative group. Investing in cyber protection. Cyber protection lets you perform a security on audits, local networks. This sounds like a good idea. I don't know how much to invest in. $1? No. $100 million. No. Oh god. That's $1 million. What's the max? 8 million. Sure. That sounds like not change political parties. I don't want to do that. Launch a fundraising campaign for your party. Insufficient budget. I haven't spoken to my businessman friends in a while. And he does not like me. Maybe I can promise a tax cut on him. I don't know if I can promise a tax cut to the billionaire. I don't know if I can promise anything to the billionaire. Let's get the tax cuts passed first, and then we'll see. So back to the tax cuts. Like I said, income tax and company tax. Now if you look at the numbers here, income tax accumulates 87% of the income. Value-added tax is where most of it's at. We're not going to touch the value-added tax because that's something that people did not like looked at in the last video. Company taxes, I almost want to cut them in half, or maybe even abolish them altogether. That should hopefully create jobs. Right now, I think they're just cutting at 1%, but I might work company taxes down even further to try to build capital and jobs. But I also need some income for spending and income taxes. Like I said, I think it's time to start tax cuts. I think it's time to take a more neoliberal approach to India. Since the debt is paid off, I am not big on taxes once you don't need them anymore. I mean, this is just going to continue. If we can grow the economy, that will continue to grow. Budget excess has been growing regardless of the shrinking economy. That's weird. So one thing I'm going to do, real estate taxes is at 11%, and it's only $14 billion. I don't think it's going to have a big impact. Company turnover tax is the second largest line item here. 500 million? Oh no. Wow, company turnover tax is the largest. Okay. So I guess we can't touch that tax. I'm going to go ahead and cut, I think I'm going to cut real estate taxes by 1%. That's $1 billion. You don't have the necessary funds to complete this action. Very favorable by the people, as well as the right wing. So, confirm that. Airline tickets. I don't know why we're taxing the airlines that much. I think that maybe we can promote some tourism. And that's pretty favorable, especially by the right wing. So let's get two more taxes here. So tax cuts, and tax cuts. Not huge cuts, but hopefully enough. Inflation is at 6.25. If that goes back down below 6, then I'm going to lower the interest rate again too. Uprising in Delhi. Numerous cases of lethal poisoning in the country. Terrorist groups are really causing problems. I'm not going to deal with the Iranians right now. Lots of uprisings in result of a lot of these tax cuts. As a result of these tax cuts. And it's the Indian Communist League that does not like it. Law and company tax.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Brilliant.
Many people watched your television appearance as usual.
Powerless. That's not good. Troubles. Police officer killed. They got those guys with the bats that are pretty tough. The bat guys. The bat boys. Grab that guy. Lock them up, man. Lock them up. Alright, we got him. Assassination.
We have subdued the rebel.
I really think maybe I do need to go after these terrorist groups. I hate going after the terrorist groups with the way that it's set up. And I think it's just the patch, because I've heard things have changed. But you can't go after terrorist groups like you used to. You have to go into these files and investigate everybody. It's just really annoying. Look at this. Mini camera. Took a long walk on the docks at night. Stole some DVDs. Oh, stole some DVDs. Arrest him. Place him under surveillance. You're being surveilled. You're gonna arrest him, right? Stole DVDs. Stole DVDs. Arrest him. Under surveillance. Under surveillance. Let's take out this group. I don't know if they're responsible for anything, but I just feel like taking out somebody. Cancel that. This is the Assam Free Front. Probably not the best party to go after. Look at all these new Mujahideen. We should go after them. Indian Communist Forces. Mujahideen. File. Nobody under surveillance. Infiltrate. See if we can do anything there. Total Jihad. Infiltrate. Infiltrations do nothing in this patch, by the way. Released.
We found absolutely nothing against him, and
he stole DVDs. It's larceny. Should be under arrest. Alright, growth came back a little bit. Oh my god. What is happening? Public finance. $90 billion in excess. This doesn't make any sense. These numbers don't make that much sense. I guess maybe a little bit. One of the other laws getting passed. Parliament. Laws in progress. Income tax on the 29th. Real estate on December 3rd. Liberation. Terrorism.
in a statement sent to the press, the terrorist organization has claimed responsibility for the operation.
Sangar Deep? I don't know who that is. Now I have to go through each group and find out who that person is. Oh. There's only one person in that group. I'm in the rest soon. And it's slow. I don't see his name there. I'm not a fan of the new system here. And I think he's already gone underground, so he's probably not going to be on the list of anybody. I remember, did I look for this group already? I did. Movement of Hindu fighters. Yeah, okay, it's just annoying. It's just annoying at this point. I'm gonna press play. What is going on in Afghanistan? Anything? Any progress here? Take back. No. Another earthquake. The international community has just mobilized support of victims for the catastrophe. An exceptional donation of $229 million has been just assigned to us to deal with the tragedy. Oh boy. League of Social Democrats, turn on television, see if we can deal with them. Get rid of that. Sit-ins. These guys hate the tax cuts.
In a statement sent to the press, the terrorist organization...
And I hate the terrorists. Law on airlines.
The bill has been voted on, and the law has been passed.
Good.
We are awaiting your instruction.
Another uprising. No, this is lots going on here. Send in the reinforcements. Close that down. We're addressing the sit-in.
Your television appearance did not receive a lot of...
It's a flop. Oh, I lost that one. I might be dealing with a lot of unrest in the next couple episodes, because I'll be continuing to try to cut taxes. No, I don't. Maybe I should spend more money on police. Oh boy. So many of them. What is that? Soldier? Arrest you. Get him. Another real estate tax. Get that guy. Get him. Get him. Got him.
The bill has been voted on, and the law has been...
Alright, a lot of tax relief passed to our citizens. I can't make any movement in those numbers. It's $95. Turkey and Syria have declared war on each other. Peru, unprotected mole. We've got $12 billion in the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And it's December 9th, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna push this to the end of the year before I do anything else, I think. So let's go out, kick out, and end this year. Tuesday the 10th. And then in the next year we can build infrastructure, internet, transport, education, healthcare, and I don't know. I don't think I need to build any I don't think I need to build up my military at all. No military spending. Just domestic infrastructure. Yes. Yes. We need profits. It's exactly what we need. Scientific discovery. Beautiful. That is what we need for the economy to make come. 15% unemployment. My God. Public financing took a hit. And now they're at 100 billion in excess. 100 billion in excess. Dead calm with the Communist League. Minister of Justice threatens course of action. 100 billion in excess. I'm just gonna keep cutting taxes here. Fighting terrorist groups. $104 billion. It's gonna be 25 billion for the. Whew, number just went up again. It's insane numbers. We're going to build a massive treasury. $12 billion. I probably should spend. $12 billion, but no one is working. I'm worried if will that affect inflation at all. 7%. Inflation is now getting a little heavy. I can't adjust the interest rates. A lot of crap coming in here. A lot of announcements. Crap announcements I don't want. 23rd, 8 days away from the new year. We'll see how bad we did. 15% unemployment. I guess I could hire teachers and doctors. I can't hire that much, though. December 24th, Christmas Eve. Which is really not celebrated in India. I guess there's some Christians, right? There's gotta be some. $112 billion. Excess. Terrorism. What the heck is going on here? Give me the police. Is there an anti-terrorist squad or something like that? Cyber task force. Criminal investigation. Highway patrol. Public safety. $2 billion. Give me local. Political police, spending against. Alright. $2 billion in police spending here. And, I don't know. Let's hire some more police. It's like 4,000. I don't know what that is. I forgot what the numbers were. Oh, there it is. That's like 34,000. 34,000 new police. Namibia, get out of my face. Political parties, get out of my face. Rioting. Police reinforcements, go ahead and send them. What are they rioting about? Order of New Humanists. Oh, man. Employment went up. Security, employment. $17 billion. Cash accumulation. Unhealthy housing situation. We are in the new year. We made it. Okay. Unhealthy housing situation. That's another thing. And negative growth.
Here are the GDP and growth figures for the last year. As you know, these are the most important economic indicators and the most revealing of the health of our economy. This is an average result.
Average result?
We must remain cautious and measure the consequences of our economic stability over the long term.
Okay. I still have to do something with that donation. Disasters. Famine. Okay. Government contribution. International donations transferred. We can transfer another 11 billion, right? Close that out. These are in millions. So it would be 11 billion. Contribute. Earthquake. Donations. 154. Contribute. Alright, so we are now looking at 241 total to the disaster of 391. I'm never going to get past this famine. Earthquake. Oh, it's gone. Alright, paid off the rest of the earthquake on our own. Okay, so we used the little bit of the treasury there. $30 billion in treasury reserves, no public debt, $112 billion report incident. I have just intercepted a UN report on education, and it's not good at all. India could be among the top most illiterate countries. Ah. That's not good. I never saw anything like that before. That's interesting. Okay, so I guess I have some money to spend. I have money to play with here. The question is, what do we do? And I'm probably going to leave it for the next episode, because I'll take some time to figure it out. I definitely think more tax cuts. The weird numbers. I don't know what's going on there. Let me just let this week recalibrate, actually, to give me exact numbers of what we're looking at. Sit-ins. A lot of sit-ins. Popular uprisings. You know what I could do to maybe quell some of these is reduce the amount of employee contributions?
The movement seems to be blowing itself out.
Alright, maybe I don't need to worry about it. I wonder if I can make a promise to the communist leader, or at least the union groups. to reduce the employee contribution to Social Security. Because that might have a good impact on the right, or the left. The left might like that. And I could probably attach it to one of my tax cuts bills to make sure it passes. Oh, God. Alright, unemployment's at 17%, but growth is finally out of the negative. Inflation looks out of control. Ugh. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment down below. I may have already filmed the next episode by the time I post this. At least Patrons, you'll be able to see it right away, and you'll be able to post your comments and let me know what you think I should do, because I'll be posting this on Patreon right away. Again, you can support me on Patreon, the link below. For as little as $1 a month, you'll have early access to all videos produced. I think all videos, right? I've been doing Total War videos on YouTube, right? I think there was a few I wasn't doing because I just posted them. If there's any videos that I don't post ahead of time, those are videos that I automatically post on YouTube. So, but it's certain videos like Geopolitical Simulator videos and Total War videos I'm sort of holding back and doing because I filmed them all at once and trying to spread out when I publish them because I want to give you at least one video a day, at least every other day for Total War, every other day for Geopolitical Simulator. But if you want to see those videos right away and you want to be able to comment and advise me on what to do so I can change my actions and everything, you can subscribe to Patreon. $1 a month minimum gives you $1 a month gives you early access to all videos. So, and there's other perks and benefits that are on there too, which you can all check out on my Patreon site. Link is in the description, as I said. And I'm also going to be doing some Twitch videos soon, live streaming more soon. Maybe not so much next week, but the following week, mid-August, I'm gonna try to get back into Twitch. I might do a Myrtle Beach out of the park baseball. That doesn't seem too popular on this channel. But there's another game, Making History of the Great War, which I think is definitely going to be a Twitch game, live streaming game. Not so much next week, but the following week, I think. I'll be looking to do that to try to get my numbers up on Twitch because I'm trying to get affiliated on Twitch. So link is in the description for that as well as my Twitter account and everything else, Discord and all the other good stuff. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.